Hello and welcome back. And in these series of videos, we're going to be talking about movie clips and symbols. So what do we mean by a symbol? Well, if I was to drag on a square, so I'll need to create a new layer and just grab a square. Okay, now it's not the most complicated of graphics, but let's just say you wanted to create a really complicated one and it's taken you time and you want to be able to save it so you could use it later. Well, in this case, I can't. So if I was to get rid of this symbol, it's actually gone forever. But let's say I create what is called a symbol. So here we go. I'm going to draw my rectangle again. And if I lasso that rectangle, so it's all selected, I can go and modify and convert it to a symbol, and I'm going to call it square. Now, a symbol can have different functions. It could be a simple picture, in which case we just click on graphic. We could make it a button, so the colors could change depending on if we're hovering over it or clicking it, and that button could take us to a different frame in our animation, or if we converted our animation to a website, then the button would take us to a particular web page or whatever. And we could create a movie clip, in which case we've got an animation inside the symbol itself. On this occasion, we're just going to create a graphic and we're going to click OK. Now, you're familiar with the properties panel, but right next to it we have the library. And in the library is where we can store our symbols. Here is the one we've just made called square. So if, for example, I get rid of this, that's okay, it's not going anywhere, and I can drag on as many squares as I like. Now these squares are called instances. And these are instances of the symbol square. Now we're not going to be needing this shape, so let's get rid of all of those squares and let's go and delete our symbol called square. What we're going to create is a butterfly, and in our library we can see parts of a butterfly as well as some other pictures that we'll come on to later. So let's name this layer butterfly 1 and press enter. Now then, we're going to need to use the wing. Okay, now this wing is just a symbol. It's not going to do very much. But if I double click on it, I'm actually into the symbol itself. Now I will need to create a motion with a symbol inside this wing symbol. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to create some animation. I'm going to click on frame 30 and I'm going to insert frames. I'm going to create a motion tween, and you'll see that this little sign turns up. Well, we click OK, and here is this other symbol, and this is the symbol inside the wing symbol. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to name this wing underscore flap, and we're going to do this. So here's the wing flap right here, and I'm going to, on the wing symbol, use the transform tool, move this little button over to the side, so we're going to collapse the wing onto here rather than squeezing both sides. So let's just go and do that. Move that over to here and expand it again. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Now, if I go back to the scene and I was to play it, we're going to see nothing. So how do we see the movement? Well, we need to go to Control and Test. And there's our wing movement. Okay, I think that's the hardest part of the whole lot of this topic. So if you can get your wing to move, that's really, really good. So how can we apply this wing? Well, we're on the scene, and what I want to do is I'm going to get the body, drag the body on, and I'm going to attach this wing to the body. Now I'll need to do a little bit of manipulating, so I'm going to put that on there, maybe turn it a bit more, and what I want to do is I want the wing to be behind this body. Okay, so to do that I'm going to need to right click, transform, arrange, and center back. Okay, so our wing is behind. Okay, so we have this. Now we want to create the new wing, so we're going to select the wing and we're going to go to edit and duplicate. Right click on this second wing, transform, flip horizontal, and move that wing and reorientate it so that it attaches to our body of our butterfly. Right click and you want to go to arrange, center back. There you go. So the wings are definitely behind the body. So what does that now look like? So if we go to control and we go test, we've got a flying butterfly, which is great. So we want to create this as a symbol because it's taken a little bit of time to do and we don't want to keep on doing it. So selection, lasso the whole of the butterfly, modify and make it a group, modify and convert it to a symbol. Let's make it a motion clip and call it butterfly. And click OK. Right then, so we have our butterfly and we want to now actually get it to fly. So with our free transform, I would make that a little bit smaller. And let's just move that off to the side, making sure that we are on frame 1. Now then, we're on the scene and we're going to create a motion tween. So here's our motion tween. I'm going to move it all the way down to frame 120 and move the butterfly all the way to the end. Now then, we want to make it a little bit more interesting than a straight line. So what I will do is back to frame 1 and we're going to move our butterfly on, and then I'm just simply going to move it down, move it along a bit, and let's go here and let's move it up and we'll take it to the end. Okay, so a little bit of movement back in here. If we were to make it move, well, we're not seeing the butterfly really go in the direction of, or point in that direction of our path. So let's go and do something about that. What you need to do is select somewhere on the motion path, go to properties and select or click on orient path. Then making sure you've got your transform tool, rotate your butterfly so it lines up with the path. Let's move it along to make sure that it's going to look really good. There we go, that's good. And let's now see it not only moving across the stage but also flapping its wings. So we go control, test. And there you go. Okay, good. So what I looked at in this movie is looking at movie clips, looking at motion tweens, looking at symbols. So can you go and make this particular butterfly, and then in the next clip we're going to create a second butterfly which is going to go twice as quickly, and we're going to use tints. So I'll see you then. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.